All right, y'all, we got a little bit of a change of plans. So my guest canceled on me 10 minutes after he was supposed to be here. So we're just going to gab. It's going to be you and me, baby. I think I'm going to call this Emily Talks to Herself. And we're going to get cozy. We're going to chat about some things that have been in my mind lately. And who knows, maybe I'll cancel myself by doing this. So fingers crossed. I do want to start off with something that has been weighing heavy on my heart. And it's a little controversial, I'm not going to lie. Honestly, I think I'm going to whisper it into the mic because I'm just so scared to even say this out loud, but I hate weddings. I hate weddings. I hate going to them. Please, we need to discuss this because I think things have gotten just a little out of control. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against marriage, like pop off, you found the person who you're going to spend the rest of your life with, fingers crossed. But the wedding of it all, oof. Okay, first of all, if I have to take 3 different types of transportation to get to your wedding, it's too much. If I have to take an Uber, a plane, a hopper plane, a boat, a ferry, a fucking tuk-tuk, and then ride on a camel's back to get to your quaint little boho chic setup that obviously has no Wi-Fi, you have to get a bucket of fucking water. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Also, I'm getting so heated. I understand you want to have a destination wedding. I get that. It's so chic. It's so fun. It's so expensive. It's so expensive. Let me tell you something. I have a wedding in June that's in Europe. My round trip flight, round trip, $2,700. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, that's the price of first class. No, honey, that's economy. It's going to be me and the fucking chickens in the back, eating a tiny bag of pretzels for 16 hours. $2,700. That's just the flight. Oh my God. And then where we're staying is obviously 45 minutes away from all the venues. And like, I get it. Your second aunt twice removed lived there and it's so special. But like, listen to me. I want you to tighten those earpods. Okay, boomer. Go there on your honeymoon. I'll even pitch in for your fucking trip. Zola, whatever that shit is. Go there on your honeymoon. The other thing is too, I don't drink. And personally, I think weddings are far too long. You want me to get there at 2 p.m. and then the last shuttle leaves at 3 a.m.? You're out of your fucking mind. It's so self-serving. Oh, God, I'm going to get a lot of heat for saying this, but the other thing, too, is when you don't drink, time goes by so much slower. And then I have to, like, sit at a table with people who are like, Em, you're going to love them. No, I won't. I'm not going to love your second cousin, Jerry, who works at Verizon, who's a, quote, hoot. No. I'm sitting over there pulling teeth. Baby, I am pulling wisdom teeth so far back in your fucking cranium to keep the conversation going. Oh, and then you're going to play Sweet Caroline? Huh? You're going to play Sweet Caroline? That I have to fucking get on the dance floor and shake my juicy little ass to? Not doing it. If you don't Am I having a stroke? Why can't I talk? If you don't play Freak-a-Leak, you're doing a disservice to your guests. I know. I honestly feel like the people who love going to weddings also love going to like Coachella and like escape rooms and like adult camps, you know, and it can't be me. It won't be me. It shan't be me. Oh, and then you're going to have a wedding in the fucking dead of summer. It's 90 degrees, 100% humidity. And you want us to wear a silk dress? I think I just fucking queefed in the back of my mouth. I hope you heard that. Listen, I get it. Marriage is a wonderful, beautiful thing to celebrate, but I think it's just gotten a little out of hand. And then you have like the bachelorette parties that you want me to wear color coordinating outfits with. I don't get it. I feel like they're so self-important. If I have a wedding, God willing, honestly, after I say this, God's like, please, good luck, bitch. It's going to be a tiny, tiny ceremony. Or wait, ceremony's the thing before. Reception's up? Yeah. A tiny ceremony of like 25 people. My blood. His blood. And then we're going to just have like a big dinner. The whole thing in its entirety will be 4 hours. Enough of this 12-hour shit. No, you're serving one meal for 12 hours? Absolutely not. If you don't think that I have snacks in my bag at the plenty at every wedding I go to, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm also always dehydrated. Always. I think I'm going to bring an Nalgene. Not an Nalgene. What are those like little Camelbacks? Just suck on that little plastic titty all day. Listen, the wedding in the summer, I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's going to be beautiful, but it's too much. I'm not spending $5,000 on a weekend. But you know what trumps all of that? I love my friends and family. The people that I love know that they could take a hot, steamy dump on my chest, and I would say thank you. I will liquidate my 401k to celebrate you in the Seychelles. I'll do it because I love you. But for the love of God, please don't play Sweet Caroline. Anyway, please invite me to your weddings. I will be offended if you don't. What else? Oh my God, I did want to tell you the story that happened to me not too long ago. Okay, so a few years ago, I was just having this like insane series of health problems. Like head, shoulders, knees, and toes, anything under the sun. It was like, oh, mid-20 female having autoimmunity, come up with something more original. You know what I mean? But I was having these like insane digestive issues. Again, tale as old as time. White woman has bloating. White woman, stop eating gluten. It's like, we got to come up with some new fresh storylines, but I needed to get this test done to see how my digestion was working, I guess. And so I remember the woman who made the appointment for me, she said, do you have any dietary restrictions? I was like, yeah, you know, I'm gluten-free. And she said, okay, just bring your own bread and we'll provide the rest. That's it. That's all she said. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm eating maybe like some toast, maybe a PB&J, something like that. Mind you, I had to fast. So I show up at, quote, Oh Dark 30, horrible phrase, and this woman brings me back, and she goes, the imaging person will be here in 5 minutes. He's just picking up your sandwich at 7-Eleven. But what do you mean? 7-Eleven. So in my head, I'm like, okay, what sandwiches are at 7-Eleven? Like turkey, like a ham sandwich? So this man comes in with a plastic bag. He goes, all they had left was egg salad! Egg salad! It's 7 a.m. I haven't eaten in like 20 hours. And I'm about to munch a 7-Eleven egg salad sandwich. Oh, and then the kicker was he goes, all right, before you put the bread on, I have to make it radioactive. Dude, if life isn't hard enough, I gotta swallow a radioactive 7-Eleven egg salad sandwich. And so he takes out this syringe of like fluorescent goo. And before my eyes is just delicately swiping the syringe over this like almost green egg salad. Horrific. And then I had to lay down for like an hour as they watched it go through my stomach. Thank God. I think Ariana Grande's new album came out. I just really dissociated through that whole thing. I feel like my shit was weird for like a week. I mean, you don't say. Oh, that was a weird time. I had to get like a colonoscopy and an endoscopy when I was like 24. Which, let me tell you something. I know that's a young age to get one. And so they didn't really prepare me for that. They never really do they? They never prepare you for what is about to happen when it comes to a procedure. Never. So I remember I went in, again, haven't eaten in 24 hours. If you haven't had a colonoscopy, you have to take this liquid that makes it so that when you sit on the toilet, you don't have to engage a single muscle and you are peeing out of your asshole. Like Mount Vesuvius out of your butt. So after that, I show up. I'm ready to get my cameras up my holes. And what they don't tell you is as they're about to put you to sleep, you have to put this like Victorian era rubber contraption in your mouth. It looks like a weird like BDSM like torture toy that has like a hole in it so they can shove the camera. But the kicker was right before I was about to, be put out, the anesthesiologist goes, all right, we're about to knock you out, or whatever the fuck he said. He goes, your vagina might tingle. Then I blacked out. Huh? My vagina might tingle? Let me tell you something. I have had a good amount of anesthesia in my life. Never had I felt even a minor tickle in my cucciolini. I'm like, is he going to fucking finger me while I'm out? Dude, honestly, good on you. I think the best part of that whole situation was my mom, who picked me up. They were like, you have to do this again in 5 years. And so I told her, we got to do this again in 5 years. Hopefully I can find a new doctor, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, oh, honey, well, hopefully it won't be me picking you up. Oh. The pressures we feel from our parents to get married, I swear to God. Oh my God. And my next procedure, it's been 5 years, is next month. Guess who's picking me up? Mommy dearest. Sorry. Dude, dating has been weird in LA. I just think we need to really encourage men to approach women out in the public. Do I want the man of my dreams to be reaching for the same cannellini beans and then we lock eyes and that's it? Yeah. I can't do the apps. First of all, I am big on energy. Oh, you don't say. So like I need to meet you in real life, feel the vibe, and then just assess from there. But the hardest part I feel like with dating apps is I can't show who I am. You know, I feel like dating apps are great for people who also love Coachella, but who I feel like kind of fit into their own category. Also, my mouth and stomach are making weird fucking noises. I hope to God that is being picked up. But like, if you're the cute, spunky Delta Gamma girl who, you know, is looking for her country boy, great. The apps are great for you. If you're like an alternative little mini flash tat, micro bang, looking for her like, you know, heavily depressed, Bon Iver listening guy, amazing. But I can never really show who I am on these apps. The pictures that you have to choose are either from like weddings or, you know, if you go a little too rogue, they think you're, you know, off your rocker, which I am. But they don't need to know that off the bat. And then, like, I can't do small talk. You know, I started asking people on the first question, I'm like, tell me your deepest, darkest secret. I don't want to know the time that you bought a one-way ticket to Bali and then found yourself in the fucking Maldives. Dude, am I in a bad mood today? What's going on? I swear I'm usually love and light. Anyway, in other news, I need to stop spending money. Yeah. My credit card lately has been so foul. And it's so insidious because I'm not really traveling. You know, I'm not doing these like extravagant things, but I'll look at my credit card at the end of the month and I'm like, did I buy a Chanel bag? What happened? And it's so nuts because I feel like ever since I quit my job, my spending has become out of control. And I historically am a pretty frugal person. You know, I got that from my mom, who like very much has a Depression era mindset. Like, we'll go out to dinner and that bitch will get a cup of soup, which slay for soup, but we all know you're a little hungry. But something about my credit card, my God. But yeah, it's insidious. Like, I'll go through it and it's not like they're these huge charges, but God damn does it add up. You know what I need to do is I need to cut out Postmates. Or at least pull back. It's so convenient. And listen, I live alone. And when it comes time to make dinner and I have to fucking make a mirepoix, slice a mirepoix and put it in a damn cast iron and then roast and boast and broil, halfway through you're getting the shakes because you're so hungry, and then you start snacking, and then by the time it's done, guess what? You're not hungry. God, I almost wish they never made Postmates. It's so... Oh, you want a delicious sushi meal? It's there. You want authentic barbecue? Done. You want some milky meat soups from some Indian place that is definitely going to fuck up your small and large intestine? Done. God, if they said you either get Postmates or you get 10 more years of living, Postmates. Postmates. Oh, you get Postmates or 20 more years of living? Postmates. When people are like, you know, I want to live to 100 and then go, 100? 100. I am almost 30 and the thought of living 70 more years sends a chill down my spine, down my metal spine. So you know that shit is extra cold. Listen, I don't mean to sound, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to end my life, but my 20s almost took me out. You want me to live 70 more years? Dude, I think I need to find a hobby. Do you think it's so awkward when someone's like, what are your hobbies? Thinking. Taking a nap. Dissociating. Like, do I need to start knitting, you think? Or like crocheting? Like, do people have hobbies nowadays? What do you guys do? Like, I feel like my perfect hobby would be, we all meet in this mansion that has AC and a lot of fucking snacks. And like good snacks. Not some fucking chickpea puff, seaweed, dingleberry, barbecue flavor. We're not doing that. We're having an array of snacky wackies. And then I think, honestly, what we would do is, I think we would just sit on like a wonderfully fluffy down bed. And I honestly think what we would do is just like gab. I want a little bit of gossip. Even if I don't know the person's, sister who they're talking shit on, give me the goss. And then maybe we talk a little bit about like Real Housewives, kind of go through what's going on with them. Maybe talk a little bit about like our subconscious, our fears, what we're looking forward to. And then we just go home. But the kicker is, you're never allowed to exchange phone numbers. So you're never burdened with needing to text these people throughout the week and like check in on them. Because we have to check in on our, friends and family. Like I'm picturing, remember when we were in school and we would learn about the Romans? And in our textbooks, there would be like photos, like drawn photos. Yeah, no shit, there wasn't fucking cameras back then. Where, naked men would just be like lounging in the fucking baths. Like that's what I'm picturing. God, I remember in school we had to do, we were all assigned a state to learn about and, make a poster. Fuck, was anything more equally fun and stressful about making posters when we were kids? You never had the poster board. You always made your mom get it the day before. And there were these huge, like trifold posters. What did our parents do with those? And we had to talk about, I don't know, a cell, like diagram a cell, or I had to do one on like some rogue singer. Oh, and there was always that one bitch in class who would go above and beyond. She'd have like fucking glow sticks. She probably had a cell phone on there, and cell phones weren't even a thing. And her mom, her little helicopter mom, did most of that. I want to know how those girls are doing now. Where are they? Probably the CEO of fucking Instacart. God, this is flooding memories right now. Okay, there was also the same class that made me do the poster about the artist, like a musician. We had to do, I think it was like 7th grade, maybe 6th and 7th grade, where we had to pick a song, any song we wanted, and sing it in front of our class. Now, in our school, you were broken up into 3 different groups, basically, that you would, go around each class with. So like our whole grade was probably, 44 people, but that was broken up into 3 groups. So you only had to sing in front of your group of, what is that? 44 divided by 3, 12.6 people. But somehow, both years that I had to do it, my music teacher made me do it in front of the whole grade. Like one time was an accident. I think maybe something happened where we all had to go into like the assembly room. And my dumb ass, to this day, I don't know why I chose the song. I was so wet for Josh Groban as a kid. I used to sing his Italian songs, don't know a lick of Italian. I just memorized what the fuck he was saying. He could be singing about fucking a horse. And I was in my feelings belting it. So while everyone was picking, I don't know, like a Beatles song or a Britney Spears song, I chose one of Josh Groban's classics from the critically acclaimed movie Troy. His song called I Remember. It's either called Remember or I Remember. And it's so dramatic. There's like, couldn't even give you the names of all the instruments that were, in the song. And so my little scoliosis twig leg self had to go up on the stage in front of the whole grade in my little plaid uniform. And bitch, I gave it my all. I was hitting the baritone notes. I was hitting the high notes. And I will never forget, I think I looked at my music teacher and she honestly was looking at me like, what the fuck is this bitch doing? Like, I wish I could play it for you. It is so absurd. And I'll never forget this classmate came up to me and she was like, wow, Em, I just want to let you know, like, that almost put me to sleep. To this day, I don't know if that was an insult or a compliment. Our worlds were so small back then, but we had such big feelings. I mean, I can't speak on behalf of everyone else, but do you ever miss, like, kind of the drama of it all? I don't miss the stupid fights with your friends or some boy being mean to you, but having a crush back then, oh my God, that was so powerful. It would, like, overtake your whole life. And it was so physiological. Like, you would get home from school and you could not stop thinking about this person. And then even in high school, I remember, like, cell phones were definitely a thing at this point. And there was this one guy who I was texting. We would text all night. But then when we would see each other at school, we would literally look the other way. Like, we couldn't deal. Because the feelings were too big. God, having a crush as a kid or a teenager is really, I feel like, forms your emotional capacity to love. But then at the same time, I feel like when you get older and you have crushes, it, like, doesn't hit the same. Which makes me sad because I feel like a lot of the times, dating becomes really pragmatic. And, time's ticking. My eggs are just, bye-bye. Fucking doing a little black diamond out my uterus, down my fallopian tubes, into my 100% organic maxi pads. So then when you do date, it's, do they have a good family? Are they a heroin addict? I'm sure I dated a heroin addict, in my late teens. And it didn't matter. It was so fun. God, I used to fuck my bartending instructor. This is actually an insane story. I think I was like 19. And we had to, I was trying to become a bartender in college, which it's the strangest thing. In Boston, you can be 19 and bartend, ? And so I got certified, and there was so much sexual tension between the instructor and me that we ended up, after hours, when everyone would go home, I would stay. God, I'm going to have my parents stop listening to these episodes. But I'll never forget, we're, sneaking into the school after hours, and shit you not, he gave me my first rim job, which was crazy. Also, I think I, didn't shave my asshole back then, so it was probably Chewbacca back there, so he's a real soldier for doing that. But the kicker was, the next day we were learning about margaritas, and he made me go up in front of the whole class and teach everyone how to, quote, salt the rim. How about that? We also realized there are cameras in that school, so I wouldn't be surprised if, in 10 years' time, that video gets leaked. And you know what? I bet when we're all having sex or doing naughty things, we think we look so hot. But I bet you that shit, if we saw half of the things that we do in a third person perspective, it would humble us fast. You know, we're on our stomachs, he's behind us, and he's like, fucking, and we think we're like arching our back. Bitch, I can't arch my back. That shit's metal. I'm probably at this like awkward 45-degree angle, hinging from my hips, you know, trying to make out with him, but my tongue, I'm sweating just thinking about it. I also do want to say, I really think we need to stop faking our orgasms. This is not a revolutionary thought. I did not come up with this. I'm saying this to remind myself and to remind you all. The sex can't get better if we fake it. You know, it's so easy to blame the other person. You know, oh, the sex is bad, this, that. But if you're faking it, if he's rubbing your inner thigh and you're giving an Oscar-winning performance, guess what? He's going to keep doing it. If she's pinching your balls a little too hard and you're like, yeah, keep doing that, guess what? She's going to fucking Mr. Krabs that. But if you're with a partner who can explore that with you, do it together. Make it fun. And also, laugh. You know, maybe don't laugh when you're like about to come. That'll really take the person out of it. But, you know, I've had sex where, yeah, it's like you're fucking pressed up against the wall and he's telling you his dick feels like a muffin and like, you know, crazy shit. But I'm at a place now where like I kind of want to giggle. Sex is funny. It is inherently hilarious. The noises that the human body makes, let alone with two human bodies, let alone 3, 4, 5, 6, it's hilarious. And I get it, like, have I queefed before? Yeah. You know, I'll close out with this story because it is so incriminating. I used to tell this story way back in the day. Dude, this is nuts. Okay. When I was in college, we were all home for summer and, you know, Chris Brown was headlining this night at a club. I don't really want to say the club. It's not, I'm sure you can look up the story because it was headlining news. So my friend, she has like a promoter in LA who gets us in. Mind you, my prep for this night, I waxed my arms, I bleached my mustache, I fucking got a blowout. With what money? I did my makeup all nice, probably put a Tootsie Pop in my asshole just to be safe. The prep that I got a new dress from Zara. I was ready to have Chris Brown fall in love with me. Is he problematic? Yes. You can't deny he makes bangers. So we show up. By the time we get to the club, God, I think I was honestly maybe even 20. Maybe 20. I was honestly probably underage. So we get in. I'm already hammered by the time we get in. I should not have been let in to begin with. So we go up to our table, humble brag. Mind you, I'm in a white knee-length tight dress. Like think budget Hervé Leger. So someone spills a vodka crayon on the booth that I'm sitting on top of. So there is a massive red stain right on my ass. So I looked at my friend, I'm like, we got to go to the bathroom. It obviously did not sound that put together. You got to go to the bathroom. So we go to the bathroom. Now, you're probably thinking, Emmers, why don't you take some paper towels, get them a little wet, and dab your butt? No. You know, Miss Bill Nye over here took off her entire dress. Mind you, I am also in knee-length spandex. So it goes from my belly button to my knees. I'm essentially naked in this bathroom. I am fully just immersing my dress in the sink. Like a fucking old maiden. Just like pushing that shit in. Now, obviously, there weren't any hand towels. It was just like, what are those? Those little Come on, Em, you got it. The, like, hand dryers, which I hate. I feel like you feel dirtier after you use them. So I take my dress out. I'm putting it under the hand dryer. It's obviously doing nothing. So I put my shit together and I go back on the dance floor with a sopping wet dress. Sopping wet. But that shit isn't going to get me down. So at this point, we're on the dance floor and we see Chris Brown's table getting like set up, you know, prepared. They're not there yet, him and his friends. So I take it upon myself to get closer to that table, you know, really do the work. So some time passes. He and his friends show up. Everyone's cheering. I somehow end up at the table. I remember being next to this like white guy who I thought was his manager. I was telling all my friends, I'm talking to his manager. Suge Knight was probably 3 people down from me. That is important information. So at this point, I'm gone. See ya. I am on another planet in my sopping wet dress and my fake Valentino heels. Next thing I know, I am going home with the air quotes manager in his Escalade. The next thing I know, I wake up. Okay? It's the next morning. I am only in my Spanx, in my nude Spanx, my skin color Spanx. My dress is on the floor. My bra is still on. And there is a trash can next to me. I have no idea where I am. The gentleman who's next to me, whose name sounds like Ragu, I'm too scared to say his real name. I look over, he's next to me. I'm on the bed. I remember I touched my face and I had just started using like a setting spray, but I didn't realize you have to like shake it on the first try. My skin, I looked like a snake. Like my skin was peeling off. I wish I took a picture. Anyway, I wake up and I look at my phone. I have probably 100 missed calls, so many missed like texts, calls, voicemails. My phone is blowing up. Okay. Meanwhile, this gentleman is like trying to fuck me with my knee-length Spanx on that you probably have to get off with like Crisco. So I'm like looking at my phone as this like Russian man is talking to me, and I realize probably 2 minutes after I left, the club was shot up. Suge Knight got shot. This girl I went to high school got shot. Like mayhem, 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 mayhem. My friend, parents, where the fuck are you? What's going on? Are you safe? Because they knew I was at that club. Little do they know, I am fighting for my life. Horrible phrase to use since I'm talking about a shooting, but I'm like, yeah, I'm over at my friend's. Sorry, I fell asleep. I blacked out. Meanwhile, again, this man's trying to fuck me. I'm like on another planet. I think we like kind of start having sex. He pulls out. I queef so loud. I literally think 3 zip codes down heard it. And I played it off like nothing happened. I locked eyes and we kept it moving. I am so hungover. I have queefed. My skin is peeling off. I don't know what's happening. Who got shot? Are my friends okay? Finally, he's like, let's go to breakfast. You guessed it, my dress is still wet. I am at a family-run restaurant the next morning in my wet dress, stumbling in these fucking heels, and he orders everything on the menu. It is sweltering hot. I am shaking, trying to put a dry pancake in my esophagus. That shit builds character. That shit builds character. I do say that was the one night stand that saved my life. I'm telling you, I was like 3 people down from Suge Knight. Sometimes you gotta fuck your way to safety. Anyway, I am tired of hearing my own voice. I love you guys. This has been such a silly, fun journey. You know, I hope you're enjoying these episodes. If you don't tell me. I love you, and I'll see you next week. And welcome back to Emily Talks To.